Is our honor so flimsy as to be sullied, stolen, broken by somebody playing dress up? Does that fundamentally damage our honor or our patriotism? We've all heard about it. We've all watched the videos. People donning a uniform that they have no right to wear. They didn't earn the honor of wearing the uniform or the rank. And yet, there they are, claiming credit for deeds they didn't do, sacrifices they never made. It's insulting. People get fired up over it. And I can see why people get fired up over it. But the idea of stolen valor and the way people react to it largely is flawed. You can't steal valor. You can't steal someone's honor. You can't dishonor the honorable, especially not by playing dress up. It doesn't change the fact that it's still insulting. There needs to be something done about it. But the people that do this, that would be so ignorant as to put on a uniform they didn't earn, or maybe they served and they're claiming they were a higher rank or they were special forces when they just, they got med-boarded out after a year and a half, who knows? There's a disconnect there that's worthy of consideration. We can say, this stinks, we don't agree with what you're doing, it's insulting, it's dishonorable, but this is a cry for help. We need to do something about this, because clearly the people that do that are not okay. You see, here's the thing. I had a realization recently. The pleasure that people derive from watching others get dragged, the almost sick, joyful, borderline psychosexual pleasure they get from watching other people get shamed is sickening. I'm going to talk about today how we're going to change this narrative, because right now it's not sustainable. And vets, we need to lead the way. I have a couple disclaimers before I get tarred and feathered. Bad stock images and marketing photos where military members are incorrectly, sometimes comically represented, that doesn't count. That's not stolen valor, that's ignorance. And I'm going to continue to make fun of that until my dying day. We need to be advocates for proper representation. That doesn't count. Disclaimer 2, of course I don't like stolen valor. Nobody likes that. You get this hollow feeling in the pit of your stomach. You think about everything that you did and all the sacrifices you made, all the tough decisions you had to make, all the late nights, long days, times away from your family, and you see somebody putting on a uniform that they didn't earn and claiming to be something that they're not, that you are. It stinks. Nobody said having grace was easy. Not all brands of stolen valor are created equal. There are different categories, and some of them overlap, and this is just in my mind. There's no official stolen valor category. The first one is the one that I have a serious problem with. That is somebody that is lying about or exaggerating their service for personal gain, like a fake veteran business owner. That just gets my goat. But it's impossible for them. How much damage can they do? You can call them out on it. You can do it publicly. You can pull them aside and be like, hey, I know you can't be a colonel and a staff sergeant at the same time. I know you're not a service member. It's time for you to go change, But what damage can they do? Can they scam real veteran benefits? They may be able to scam a server at Denny's, but they can't. It's a lot harder to fool the Department of Defense when you don't have a legit DD-214 or an actual record of military service. What about a veteran business owner designation? That's hard to fake. And the chickens will always come home to roost. Karma will catch up to them. We've got the personal gain folks, and then we have the mental health issues. And a lot of time, like I said, there's overlap. If you look at these pictures, there are these videos of people that are trying to pull off the scam, that are trying to pull off that they're a service member when they're not. Try to think about what has to be going on through somebody's head to make them think that they could get away with this, that it's a good idea. There has to be a disconnect. There has to be a mental health crisis in most cases. And the example that made me change my mind was one that I posted about a couple weeks ago. Younger guy, but he's dressed as a master sergeant or a senior master sergeant, and he's got a ribbon rack he's wearing his blues, his service dress, but other accounts say that he had his pants tucked into desert boots. And I guess the guy was on base, like trying to get in people's chili like he was a drill sergeant or something. I guess he had been a service member at one point. Turns out he had had some substance abuse issues, some mental health issues, obviously. But that guy's not alive right now. Some accounts say that he committed suicide and he struggled with mental health or substance abuse issues for his entire life. Some say that that's what led to him getting kicked out of the army in the first place. I don't know, he's dressed like an Air Force guy. I don't know which account is true. The thing that I know to be accurate is that the guy is no longer alive and he had a really rough life. He's still getting dragged. He's still like one of the quintessential stolen valor cases where you see that somebody posts the picture and everybody's like, okay, he's been dragged. Do we need to keep dragging him? And some might say like, well, let's use him as an example to show other people it's wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. Nobody ever like weighs out the merits. They don't wake up and they go like, I wonder if dressing up like a service member when I didn't serve, if that's morally ethical. Or yeah, what he did was offensive, okay, but like, he didn't steal my valor, he didn't steal yours. I'm not excusing what he did, and I think that's an important distinction to make. Stolen valor is wrong, but if that guy got a free cup of coffee before making a complete jackhole out of himself on base, like that didn't steal my honor. You know, people say that's disrespectful to those who died for this country. You think somebody that paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country honor can even be breathed upon by an imposter like that? It's like an ant on a lion's back. Are you kidding me? It's hard to have sympathy, but the guy wasn't in his right mind, you know? And the second I realized that, I started looking back on times when I had participated in the dragging. And there was one time where I used my platform at a time when it was large enough to make an impact to call somebody out by name for stolen valor. I made a public post and I dragged them, and everybody joined in. We tarred and feathered this lady for her stolen valor, and I feel guilty about it because this person's claims were so fantastical. There was a cry for help. There's mental health issues there, and I wasn't going to say anything that was going to change this person's mind. They were out in left field, and I went back and I deleted the post. That was one of my highest performing posts ever, and it is gone. Here I am publicly apologizing for my behavior. I was coming from a less informed place, and now I know better. Some people say like, well, I get they have mental health issues, but there's no excuse, and it's the ultimate dishonor and blah, 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 blah. Well, why don't we just execute them on site? If you catch somebody doing stolen valor, like let's just take them out. Bury them in their fake uniform. Of course, we're not going to do that. And so where is the line? There is a line somewhere. There is a balance somewhere, but there are plenty of veterans that get super duper offended by it, and I don't blame them. I think that the point that I'm trying to make is I don't blame you for it angering you. It angers me still. But here's the important point. Is our honor, our patriotism, our valor so flimsy as to be sullied, disintegrated, stolen, broken by somebody playing dress up? Even if they're trying to get a free stack of pancakes or a free coffee on Veterans Day, does that fundamentally damage our honor or our patriotism? Those that are guilty of impersonation, they are not capable of stealing valor. They can only borrow attention. We must have some perspective and some grace, and there's nothing more honorable than forgiving the unforgivable. You don't have to compartmentalize how you feel. If you're angry, that's okay. If you're frustrated, that's okay. If you're insulted, that's okay. It's okay to feel how you feel. You can't help how you feel. But take a step back and evaluate the situation. Do you make a public spectacle? Do you post it on YouTube? I would encourage all of you to stop searching for stolen valor, getting into the stolen valor porn. There's no value to it. We know it's wrong. We need to be the bigger people.